Hello, hello, hi. I mean, it's the I. This is behind the scenes, behind the music, behind the lyrics, behind me. Today is Einstein, which later became Einstein Time, or Time to Einstein. To be quite honest with you, I'm still back and forth about it, but nonetheless, I finally found solid footing in it as to what I wanted this to sound like. um, as many of you who have followed me from the very beginning know that as someone who came late into this show, as my epiphany of what I truly wanted to be, what truly fed my soul as an artist, being that of singing, it meant one thing, one very hard thing, and that was that I was at the mercy of my musicians and producers that were so generous to even want to play with me because, well, despite my a cappella version of the OG, the outline of these songs that I could hear in my head, I couldn't have done any of it without them, at least in the beginning. And I wanted to humbly listen to what they said and respect the fact that they had paid their dues and learned their instrument and taken the time to do so and had been educated in it. And therefore, it took me a really long time to realize that my voice and my lyrics and my diary were actually my instrument. They were, my talent. And that I could technically sing them to any guitar or piano lick. Jazz being this fundamental piece of who I am. Hence my Black Radio t-shirt here. You like that? Nevertheless, that meant, the fact that it meant very little to me anyways, simply because I've always looked at music as something that's a collaboration, a collaborative thing. I mean, it's an experience that even as far back as the womb, as I've sang, this room that had two heartbeats in it that would inevitably find their own rhythm and sync. Hence the beautiful meaning behind what Madonna used to say when she sang, music brings the people together. Because otherwise it's just a masturbation thing. It's a masturbatory thing. And if I'm sticking to the belief, which I will until the day I die, that music is a sex. It's a sexual being, thing, animal, instinct, primal, that came before we could even speak. I think music does bring us all together, even in the dark. Not seeing each other without knowing. So, in that journey from the very beginning, I'm learning as quickly as possible to play the piano, while also I'm learning how to feel confident, that I was always continuously bringing a lot of my own thing to the table. This untrained but certainly instinctual thing to the table, that I had hired these gracious producers and musicians to collaborate on. It wasn't until I finally found this footing in learning how to play this one song on the piano. And originally it was written by someone named Lil Greenie, aka Kansas Joe McCoy. And Kansas Joe McCoy's wife, Memphis Minnie, who I share the same birthday with, ironically. So maybe that's just, here's your sign, right? Was a song that came up after doing a play, or a scene from a play called Waiting for Lefty, in which was actually the catalyst of my entire, I guess, evolution and change as to what am I doing with my life. anyway, all that being said, I had requested this to my piano teacher, this beautiful woman named Nicole Owenga Scott, who was teaching other adults how to play piano and children as well through the Simply Piano way of teaching. I don't know how else you would say it. Yeah, instruction. And so she came to me with kind of a simplified version of the song. And little did I know that as I went on this like whole exploration of, this expedition of finding out my own true sound, and learning how to play this on the piano, that it would be this song that actually helped me to write Einstein subconsciously, and would be the song that helped me to write Time and Glow. And which translates to those who really want to know what my music influences are, right? It's jazz and blues, funk and soul. They were the fundamental building blocks of what make up who I am. So there you have it. So when I decided to rework and remake these songs from my very first EP, Denial and Debauchery, and turn them into something that was more my own, and then put them here into Until Dawn, I decided to remake and rework Einstein and add it into Time, not to be lazy to cut corners, but really simply because they stemmed from the exact same place and said the exact same thing. That it is insane to give away your time to someone who doesn't see it as worthy, or someone who takes it for granted, or giving up your time to frivolous things such as unrequited love. Hence the reason why I've now put them together and created Time to Einstein. So I look forward to hearing what you think, how it makes you feel, if you can relate. But nonetheless, there you have it. Behind the music, behind the scenes, behind the lyrics of these things, I am Unitzi. Thanks for tuning in and listening, and I'll see you on the flip side. Yeah.